In case, okay, I'm just gonna mute people so that we don't get disturbed with the recording. Okay, I think we're good. So hi everyone, good evening. My name is Hitesh Bhatia and welcome to a very interesting session today where we talk on partner relationships. And it's one of the most important conscious relationships in our life. I think it's one of the only relationships that we choose. Your parents, your siblings are normally never by choice, they just happen to you. But
Yeah.
your partner, yeah, is somebody you choose. And for those of you who are new, it's really nice to have your videos on. The reason the videos on is good because then your energy is focused on this. Some of you are busy at home, cooking, at dinner. But what really happens is when you put your videos on, you align with the other 77 in the group, and you sort of create this beautiful space for all of us to understand and work together and support each other in a journey of healing. So, good evening, everyone. The way this works is my name is Hitesh, and I'm your host for today. And we have Claes in the house with us. Claes and I are going to have a little chat on constellations, on relationships. A lot of fun. It's very informal. It's just some questions that we have thought up and that we will put forth to him. He had an idea of what we're going to talk about, but some of the questions are going to come as a surprise. So keep an eye on the Claes's expressions and look out for that. And the way this will move ahead is once the talk is over, we open up, we'll shut the recording. Once the recording ends, we open up to the community for questions. We'll probably take 4 or 5 questions, which are important and relevant to partners and the conversation that we have today. So if you have any important questions, you can put them on the chat. Though, let me tell you this, that the way we do our questions is we will shut the recording so you can ask your questions directly. If you put them on the chat, we will come to them after everyone's questions has been answered. Yeah. So good evening and welcome once again. My name is Hitesh and we have in the house with us Claes Berend van der Kolk. It took me a long while to get that name right, and I'm pretty sure I've got the name right this time. So Claes is a dear friend. We were introduced by one of our teachers, Marion, teachers and dear friend Marion Boone. Claes is from the Netherlands, from Holland. He's been a family constellator for over 20 years. And then he's been a regression therapist for over 8 years. And he was my senior, super senior actually. He learned in the same school that I learned from. And when I met Claes, we were connected with Marion. Candidly and jokingly, I told Claes, maybe someday we'll get you to India and we'll get you to teach constellations in India. Little did I know that I was manifesting that at that point of time. And that sort of has turned out into a beautiful journey where we had Claes come to India, to Bombay in in August, the earlier last year. And then once again in December, and he's had 2 beautiful groups that he started teaching, and we start teaching the third one in April. But we'll come to that later on. For now, let's focus on what you and I are all here for: partner relationships and constellations. So, and I think my first question, Claes, to you is: did you know that the origin of the word partner literally at times comes from the word partition?
Yeah. I didn't know that, but I love it because when you say in Dutch, I love you,
Mm-hmm.
if I translate it word for word to English, then it is I hold from you.
Oh,
And I hold from you means that you are a part of me. So
right.
the Dutch I love you is really I have you in me. Um, and also I think a partnership is that you even if you're out of sight or out of space, that you have a part of the other in in your heart or somewhere inside of you, a little bit in your mind, of course, but I hold you, I hold from you, I hold a part from you. So it's it's nice that you found the origin of the word partner. Yeah.
Yes, I was looking it up and I was amazed because the word partition has such a negative feeling to it. And specifically, if you're in India, where the word partition has been the India-Pakistan partition, and we hold such such bad memories of the partition. So the
Like
part.
like you said before we start, you can suffer with a partner as much as without. Um, but holding someone inside of you and having a partnership is a deed of courage. You have to take your chances. Just to say I like you that much that I want you in my life, it starts with an act of courage, and it never stops. Uh, a partner can be the most safe, but also the most adventurous relationship and therefore and adventure that you have in your life. It's not only about harmony, and it's also about transformation. It's not only about safety, it's also an adventure and something you have to work on. That's a partnership. Yeah.
The ship that never sails, right? The partnership, but you sail through stormy waters of life. So, any which ways, my first question that really got me thinking was, humans are not very different from animals. So we
No.
see animals in heat. We see animals have a mating season. We see animals and trees. They normally procreate because it's nature to them. So why
Yeah.
do we do as human beings we really crave the need to procreate and to just create life, or why do we really crave partners, and why the whole essence that we need, the chemical reaction of whatever happens when we feel that, oh my god, I'm in love, or whatever it is that we feel.
Yeah. So you ask if it is ever genetic or societal conditioning,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yes, yes.
Let me first say I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not uh, when I'm a professional. I'm a professional in the experiment of doing constellation and find out for yourself and help you to get your own realization of the truth. What if it feels natural to you, or if it whether it feels like it's something that's coming from the norms of your family or your society. But I think it's the search for a partner, the need for a partner, and to stay with a partner. To me, it feels very natural, and it is um, to fall in love is a thing that all your hormones, all your genetic thing is supporting that much that it is really it feels like a natural need supported by all of nature evolution. The goose, for instance, as a species, they also stay together, and other species stay together with in groups. The sheep, my father had sheep. It was also always one man who had a harem of 20 women, and I think the the biggest history of evolution of humans is to have the one-on-one relationship. However, there are many cultural and societal influences on that. That you know that there are countries with men and a harem, and that we are in the West in an evolution where relationships take shorter and shorter, not for the whole life. But I think it's very natural to feel the need for a partner and to feel more complete together with a partner and children. Don't take it as a law. Take it as a tendency that feels really natural.
But I would speak I think I can speak on behalf of all the married men in this group, but I don't think most men today can handle a harem. Maybe the sheep could
I
have.
won't. I won't.
No, I don't think I can. I think one is enough. I
Yes.
have one wife, and I'm pretty happy. I don't think I could handle. I live
Mm.
with three women, and I
Yeah.
don't think I can handle more women today in this, at least in this world. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's something. So where do you think the idea of this one-on-one relationship really came from, Claes? Was it and societal? Was it because it was we felt the need to be committed in a one-on-one relationship? And I'm presuming that's what brought about the concept of marriage, right?
Yeah. I think it came from nature.
Hmm.
I really think that we are, as humans, that we are born and our biology says we feel complete when we have a partner, at least until we have brought and raised children. So also think it's a completely biological, natural phenomenon that you want to have children together with one and the same partner. And but again, it's not a law or a rule or wrong when you feel different.
Right.
But I think the natural way for the most people is you want a partner and together you want children. And I think that when you are raised in a not so safe way or in a family that brings a lot of childhood trauma, that you grow up with a different need. Maybe without sex, maybe without a partner, maybe with a partner of your own sex, etc., etc. And that's okay also. But I think the natural need for the need for a partner and the need for a family is very natural and brought to us by evolution.
Interesting. And it's interesting because I always thought that the need is more societal, and it's really interesting the way you put it. It's actually a more natural need because that's the
Yeah,
kind of chemicals that your body releases when you're with that
yeah,
partner.
yeah. And I just think there are very little very natural needs. The need for sleep and the need for food and the need for partnership. I think they are the most basic needs that we have. That important is a partner relationship
Mhm.
for a human and expressing love to each other.
Interesting. So now comes the interesting part. Now that we've understood about partners and we've understood about marriage and we've understood about so much so and so forth. So in constellations, we talk about the orders of love, and we talk about the parents give and the child receives and so on. How do the orders of love relate to a partner? Because it's a balance, right?
Yeah, um, you posted a little video in one of the groups,
Yes.
and there they said it very clearly. What I think also before the children,
Mhm.
the first one that came into a system is the partner.
Right.
So for a child, when you bring forth children, the biggest safety for the children is when they see that between the partners they are safe with each other. So in the orders of love, the the partnership and the love between your parents brings you the most safe basic. And then the second afterwards is how the partners are parenting you. That's after how they are loving each other and relating towards each other. And then they are relating to you as a father and a mother. And then when that succeeds a little bit, you and your spouse are the basic safety you can bring forth in all the adventures and all the entrepreneurial, all the initiatives you take in your life. You have the basic of your own spouse, your own relationship, and that's the basic also for your projects and most important for your children. They will also feel safe when you invest in your relationship.
So we all have this ideal thought, this ideal about the perfect partner, right? Some
Yeah,
of it comes from the movies we see, some of it
yeah,
comes from society. And if you're in India, and then you've seen these heroes that play these certain roles. And I have to get you to watch a Bollywood movie when you're in India, So you get the idea of, and that'll be fun. We'll take you
The
to a
Bollywood
theater.
movies, aren't they all about Bollywood and Hollywood? They're all about partnership and love and romantic and yeah,
Yeah,
heroes.
that's what it is, right? In India, we call it the ABC of India, the astrology, Bollywood, and cricket. So
Oh
Bollywood
yeah,
is right in the center. So the media is all about, the movies are all about happy endings and how the guy is perfect and he'll fight for the girl and he'll tie her shoelaces one day. And of course, now we have the influence of K-pop with the younger generation, the Korean dramas, where they're also talking about this partner who's perfect, whether she's a girl, she's perfect, whether he's a guy, he's perfect. How does all of that tie into our lives? Because life isn't like that, right? Life is not a beautiful. The
no,
fact that we have 120 people over here is because they know life is not perfect. Life is not a beautiful K drama, or it's not a beautiful Bollywood or a Hollywood movie with a happy ending. And
yeah,
unfortunately, all men are not like Brad Pitt, and all
hmm,
women are not like Nicole Kidman or Angelina Jolie, but women can be witches and men can be husbands can be dogs. And how does all of that tie up into our life? How does that impact our life when relationships aren't aligned, when they get entangled?
it's a long question,
Yes, it is.
Ethan.
I'm sorry. I should have put it into
I'll keep
smaller bits.
I'll keep my answer short.
Yeah.
In one word, it's disturbing.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really a disturbing influence. When we I and I also get curious about Indian culture. So next time when I come, I have to dig myself into a nice Bollywood movie and some K-pop, etc. But I know in Europe, in America, in India, the influence of the society, the influence of the media is very disturbing influence on the relationship because relationships and partners are either nice and not nice, are either your ideal and you get disappointed about their behavior. Deal with that because that's the part where you have to work on yourself to grow up, to get less judgmental about your partner, to get less needy in their behavior, to even if they do things you don't like, love them anyhow. And that are things you don't see that often in a romantic Bollywood movie or a Hollywood movie or whatever. It's disturbing because it makes you needy for some kind of behavior which is unnormal, unnatural. We all are normal people, even the actors when they are at home at normal people, and we fall in love with other people that are normal and are not the hero of the society and are not the hero of a big group. And if we look a little bit deeper, then there is even a strange connection which doesn't have that much historical background, that you find love, you find a partner through love, through in history you were chosen a partner because of getting the society together or getting the street together or and in there you were not able to really choose your own partner, and that means on some level everybody can be your partner if you invest in yourself and you know it's not the love depending on the other one. It's not the love that you can get and the benefits that you can get, but it's the love that you have to give in it, and it's a basic for growing, and it's a basic for the safety in your life. Then love can grow with everybody, despite the history you have had with yourself and with that partner. So I I think people should invest in their self, in themselves, and see a partnership as a place where you have to give much more than to expect.
But it's really nice that you and I can talk about this, class. But the reality of life is, how does that impact situations? We always believe ignorance is bliss. I have so many clients and so many people who reach out to me where they talk about, it's okay, I have issues with my partner, but I don't get in his way and he doesn't get in my way, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's not okay.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to say it's okay, right? Because
Yeah.
uh, I think
But
one of
the
the biggest.
opposite of love is ignorance.
Mm.
It's not hatred. Hatred is a part of love. It's a lower form of love. Ignorance and I don't care. And that's the opposite of love. Love is investing. Love is being interested also in the differences. Love is taking care, and love is giving yourself to the others. Is I hold from you the partnership. He's a part of you. She's a part of you, and you are a part of the other. And that's something to acknowledge and not to ignore.
Wow. That's beautifully put, because we always think as hatred to be the opposite of love, but it's not, because you don't hate your partner. And you rightly said, you just ignore.
Yeah,
About,
that's a disease.
it's not about caring for them. It's about not acknowledging the problem.
Yeah.
So how does that impact? Because life is typically about three areas. It's about wealth, it's about relationships, it's about careers, it's about our body, which is diseases. That's what I've been able to decipher, that all of our life revolves around these four areas. So
Mhm.
which is the biggest impact do you think we would see in our life if our relationships with our partner or spouses weren't aligned?
If you're not aligned, there are so many impacts that come from not feeling safe, not feeling supported. Um, so it can increase your level of insecurity and in your life, fear and anger. It can bring somatical pain, and it can bring a suffering of emotional suffering that I've seen. Anger in your life, not only towards your partner, but to other people, being less communicative to other people, um, sadness, depression. Um, when you live together with somebody where you have given up, which is completely understandable, then the consequences are on so many levels: emotional, mental, and communication, and even biological. A healthy sexual relationship with somebody also gives your body the vitality it needs.
Like I know a lot of single people who love massages because the touch helps
Yeah,
also release the chemicals. You don't really need to go through an orgasm. Just the
of course
touch
not.
of another human being
Yeah,
really helps.
yeah, and also with a partner, even more important, and for the relationship is to lay together in bed and have the contact of the skin in the morning and the evening. That's also with people who have had a long sexual relationship. They say, well, the physical contact, skin to skin, is the most important part of the sexual activities. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the orgasm, it's just the
No.
touch. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I have three more questions, and I have my eye on the clock, and I'm going to try and stick to time. So who really influences our choice of partner? Is it our mother or is it our father? Where does that come from? Having, understood that they are the first male or female in our life, and don't we really build the ideal relationship from there?
Yeah. Well, it the influence come on whom to choose. They come from both parents,
Hmm.
and I see in my own practice very often that the first partner resembles both the lookalike and the differences from the partner of the other sex. So for you and me, our first the first important woman in our life was our mother, and for the women here was their father. And of course, we feel safe with our mother, and we feel safe with some um, of the lookalike things of a partner. They look like our mothers, and for many women, they have to resemble their fathers. And we look at that our partner has some things that we hate from our mothers, that they have it, that because we are lacking, and we are, and even unconsciously we are filling the need that our unpresent mothers gave us, and your absent fathers gave you. You look for filling the hole, and that partnership, that first partnership, often is not so successful um, because only filling the need from your mother is not the best basic for a relationship. And then in the next partner, you get a little bit more distance from the needs that you had in your childhood, and you fulfilled them. And I hope always that the second phase of the relationship, you can do them with the same partner, and find out yourself and each other anew, and not only as an image differences and um, what's it and the same as your own parent.
Yeah.
So
I
you grow up and become independent lovers from yourself, and the other one becomes him or herself more and more. That's the growth in partnership.
I would, like to quote something here, class. This is a small little, not a passage, but a small anecdote of your and my conversation when we were planning Healing the Father Wound workshop. And
Oh
this is
yeah.
for all of us who are watching here. Class and I were planning the Healing the Father Wound workshop, and he put something out so beautifully. He says, we see the father from the mother's eyes. Because as children, when we are small, when we are infants, the mother says to us, uh, now let's get ready, daddy is going to be home. Or she says to us, listen, eat your food, or daddy will be very angry if he sees you've not eaten your food. So she really builds the image. Or just look at how bad daddy is. He's left you and me, and he's gone with his friends, or he's gone to work, while you and me are sitting here all alone. So we build our image of the father from the
Yeah.
mother's eyes.
And you often build a big part of your judgmental part about your father in his absence in the family. He is the most excluded person in many families, not only in India, also in Europe. And then because you take everything from your mother in
Mm.
his absence, she fills in the gaps. But that's with her ideas and opinions. So even looking at your father anew as an independent you,
Mhm.
not with the image of your mother, is a relief. I have seen that so often in constellations. Yeah.
Absolutely. And my second last question for you. A lot of times we get entangled with our parents. I think we sort of energetically get married to our parents, and very common in the Indian scenario where we become mama's boys or daddy's little, toys, for the lack of a better word. But we get so entangled with our parents. And then when we actually find the right love interest, the right love partner, we don't seem to be aligned. Is that true? And if so, how do we really understand and acknowledge that? I didn't know I was a mama's boy till I really reached the spiritual healing space.
Yeah. We it's a nice exercise to look at the person and
Mhm.
to imagine the two parents next to you, and
Mhm.
then you can see one of the two parents much closer and much more clear than the other parent. And most of us are either a mother or a father boy. You are a mother's guy, and if the entanglement with one of the parents, um, uh, for a man with his woman, is too tight, too close, then there is less place for the partner. It's as if energetically the partner position is already taken by your father, in your case, by your mother. And that means that it's hard for yourself to really come close and give place in your heart for and in your mind, in your communication for your partner. But your partner will also think he is shut somewhere. He is. I cannot reach you. I don't know who you are. I cannot really. Can you? I want to give you help and support, and you don't take it. That's all a sign of that you're still too much entangled with your parents, and there is something to win in a family constellation. Because in a family constellation, you can acknowledge your mother, her place, and that you're her child, but you can also, with a bow or with a ho'oponopono thing, you can give her the place of, well, your upbringing is over. I will also always be your son, but now I take the distance of still being your son, but being of my own and choosing my own life and choosing my own love life and my own partner now. That's growing up, which is really a big step towards a healthy a love relationship. So if people are looking for a partner and um, they can't find it or they can't get it, there is there are in family constellations there is a lot of support to find for that. What's your place uh, towards your parents, and can you where are you entangled, where are can you set yourself free? Family constellation can help you to set yourself free. Where is childhood trauma, and can you set yourself free from the trauma also that makes you hurt and makes your heart closing your heart up for a partner, or making you unavailable, or making it too risky for you. And dealing with all these trauma and entanglements can, and freeing you from that, can make you so much more available for a partner and more attractive for a partner, but also really attractive in a way that you can create healthy relationships, and with some harmony in it, and with some fun and some pleasure and a lot of support. It's really possible. And I've seen not only regression therapy, but mostly family constellations. I've seen that doing so much good for relationship, for love.
Mhm.
That yeah, I'm really a fan of that. Yeah, that's of course why I come to India all the time to teach. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I'm going to ask maybe one or two more questions. And
Okay.
this one is specifically for a lot of the single people in the group, and they keep trying to understand that all that they're seeking is not about marriage, it's not about a permanent relationship. And I think they're just seeking to get someone who fills that void that you feel in your life.
Yeah. In that case, you are seeking for yourself. You think you're seeking it for a partner, but the partner cannot fill the void. The preparation for being a good partner is to find and acknowledge the emptiness in your heart for yourself and the being absent towards yourself. So, first, you have to work on yourself. First, you have to work on the entanglements with your spouse, with your brothers, sisters, and your
Energy.
parents. And if you fill your energy with yourself, then you can start having a healthy relationship with a partner.
Fantastic. So I just have one more question, Claes, and then we can open up for questions from the group. If I see or I ignore, and I know I've asked this earlier, but do you feel that my career or my business will be impacted if my relationship with my partner is not aligned? My career, my business, maybe my health.
It- with your health, it's a
Right.
different thing. But in a business,
Mhm.
you can go two ways, because you have a lot more to fight for if you are alone, if you are fleeing um, from your partner also.
Right.
I think to get a safe basis and get support, and if you have done some astrology, they say, well, you will be successful, and so before that you need a partner, and that's the most natural thing. But when you look at Elon Musk and Steve Jobs, etc., they all have problems with an absent father and partnership that don't work, and you can flee um, into your business, and you can make your company your new partner, and can be successful, but usually it's unhealthy. Like Elon Musk says, I nobody should want to change positions with me, because when you're married with your company, then you don't have a place for your partners. But it's not healthy as well. Steve Jobs became 55 years old. And I think if you want to be happy and you want to be healthy, um, mentally and emotionally healthy, a good relationship is the basic for it. A good relationship with yourself on the first place, and with a nice partner at the second.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Claes. Um, and before we open up, I'm just going to run a quick poll for everyone. And thank you so much, Claes. I'm just going to stop the recording right now. And